had a lot to say, and it just cut you right
You,
off. That's
You
so
did.
crazy.
listen.
I got my blankets. It's my blankets that I have it set on, and I'm sorry, everybody. It's not a
No,
dirty
no,
bed. It's just my blanket.
they knew I was about to start going off a little too much, and they was like, you know what? Let me chill.
I'm
They was
trying to
like
get
chill,
Ebony back in.
because
Yeah, we
I'm
back. We
telling you,
back, Cookie.
the blasphemy, like
I'm just saying, it's just, it was
talking
some
about
thick.
something. I don't understand where this animosity come from. What?
It was like some
Get
thick
me?
resentment that could have been worked out. You know, therapy does wonders.
It does. It does. Yeah, we
Are
right.
you co? Are you co?
I'm sorry.
Are you
I'm
co-signing this?
sorry. I'm
And
sorry.
look,
I
see,
just
then
had
she
to.
disappear and leave you by yourself. Look at that. Look at that.
No,
Look at that.
of course,
Look at that.
of course,
Just like
yeah,
hold
live
that.
would end up.
Because it never did
Just
that on
that is
nobody
just
else
like this.
live.
This is just like this. She just gonna set you up to back her up, and then she just left
That's
you.
that's
I'm
what's
like,
crazy.
bitch, you gotta make me co-host. I'm cracking up. I
Yeah,
said, oh, not thanks
it
for
never,
joining the live.
it never did that before.
I knew it
You never
was
did
gonna be
that, huh?
shenanigans. I said this Ian. I said this Ian live, so it's gonna be shenan and shenanigans. Okay, wait. I can't see. Am I co-host? I can't see it now.
You can't. We see you. I see you.
Okay.
Let me see.
No, I
Yeah.
was like, did you make me co-host? I
Yeah, you
don't know
should
where
be.
Tasha went. Okay.
She
Can
was
you
talking some
see?
foolishness,
Yeah,
and then
she
Yeah, I
Amelia
can see
tried
you.
to back
they
her
keep
up.
kicking her out. Okay, Tosh, let me add you again. Not sure why it's
I
doing
said,
that.
ooh, not the technical difficulties. I'm cracking up.
Now you took
Larry said
now
this.
she
Larry
like,
said
no,
somehow
Diane,
it's
keep
Tasha
kicking
fault.
me
I'm
out.
cracking
Keep
up.
kicking you out because you keep talking that BS.
Ian said this my live. This
Okay,
Kareem live.
here we
You
go.
better believe it.
What?
Take two. Yes. Come on, Mike. Take two. Period. But go ahead. I was like, I don't even remember where y'all got kicked, where y'all left off at. Kiba said we got booted out. Yes, child. I said I don't know why.
We got booted out and her talking about something she don't understand where the animosity was coming from.
No, I do understand now because you was channeling some personal things to
But
fuel some, and that was what you was doing.
hold
You was
on,
motivating yourself, and I appreciate that.
Outside of the personal, Kareem has every right to cuss you out. I just want to throw that out there. If y'all didn't know that, and I can't wait for the story to be unfolded.
We need Ty. We need Sierra. We need all the
Right.
characters in the chat. But what I am outside of that, I do hope that and I am looking forward to that in the next season as well, getting into y'all dynamic a little more because I was intentional about like I hope that people see the parallels and get to the love no matter what, you know. And I think we mostly get y'all there by the end of the season, right? We agree to disagree. Borrow the side piece Barbara
Kima.
over here.
Yeah, my brother was Muslim. You know what I mean?
Yo,
My cousin was Muslim.
Reba, the brother, the cousin, everybody was Muslim. Just like Kareem.
You better believe it.
Um, uh, but but yeah, I think part of it too, and I know some of the backstory we had discussed was the idea that both Nia and Kareem were kind of young people who were parentless in a lot of ways, right? So Nia's father running the streets, her mother not having the most close personal relationship with her father, Kareem not having, a relationship with his father because of his circumstance currently, and his mother not being around, would make for people who grew up like as cousins, almost like siblings, right? Because you have those things in common. And so for me, I was hoping that we got more of a sibling kind of dynamic, right? That was felt and understood. And that was more about what was a part of driving like Kareem's anger and his response to Nia showing back up, right? As like almost like your sister, like you've been going all this time, now you back. What's going on? And then, but you know, I think it helps that as the season goes on and after y'all have your conversation, he gets to understand that life has not been a fairy tale for you either. um I think one of my, like, looking back, I've been doing a lot of reviewing of footage for the first season to try to see if there are any other reshoots that we need to do. At the moment, I don't think so, but it's the case that I like you guys' scene. It's probably one of my favorites, out on the deck, the sort of back and forth. And I know we got a few of the neighbors upset with that particular scene on that particular
You
day.
saved her, for
But
real.
I'm
You saved
curious.
her on that scene. That's what you did. You saved her on that scene. It was about to go down.
I'm curious about how y'all felt about that particular scene, or if there were other scenes that were like your favorites. And yeah, we can start with Kareem, since we didn't talk to Tasha a little bit previously. So
That was definitely one of my favorite scenes, for sure. Hands down. That scene was intense. And it was crazy because it was such a great build up. And we came in hot, and I just was like, you know what? And again, without giving too much detail, you know what? I don't like you, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I loved it. And why, Tasha? Hold on, Nia. You think it's funny? We go at it again. We go at it again. No, but seriously. No, but seriously, that was one of my favorite scenes. That scene, and even the pilot. The pilot was one of my favorites as well. Just because being able to get her to understand, like, you want to have this objective in this scene of making me feel like I should feel bad for you, and I don't. And I'm going to show you I don't feel bad for you, not even a little bit. Like, and then from there you just see this spiral of emotions go between both of us, because it's not like, there will be times where Kareem will show he's for the family above all else. And when they see that, I hope they understand that I come from a place of love, even though I might not always go about it the right way. But the road to hell was paved on good intentions. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's the best quote to give you right there.
and and this is why Ian was it. Kareem. This is why Kareem ultimately worked out. I knew that he was going to be able to take it to another level. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Tasha.
Yeah, oh my goodness, definitely the intensity. I knew that scene was going to be intense from like the first moment we were working together. From I think from the chemistry read, and I was just like, you coming in with a whole lot of heat, and we doing this whole little opening. Okay, all right. And as soon as you told me, like, Nia, she gonna take it for a little bit. She ain't gonna take it all the time. I said, I can't wait till she don't take it all the time. Because somebody needs to check him real fast.
Right.
And again, Ian as an actor, he's such a generous actor. And so he brings the energy. So you can't help but bring it back. And I hope that's what everybody feels in that. It's like, this is authentic. This is a real argument between family. Just again, different perspectives going back and forth at each other. Because it was a lot of energy, so much so the neighbors is like, they still outside, they still doing it, they still out there. We're not done yet. We'll be done soon. Calm down. But it was so much fun to do, because each time with each take, Ian just had a whole new pack of batteries just come out hot each time. I'm like, yeah. You don't give up. You don't rest never. All right.
Right.
So yeah, that was fun.
Yes. Yes. I personally liked outside of that particular scene, I liked because he don't even give you too much. I think there's maybe a line or something when y'all are all out there with the family on the deck. I think Anna's still in the chat. When she's there, Anna, God bless Anna, honestly. We're gonna talk to Anna and Siani together very soon. Anna just crying her eyes out I mean, most of the season, but this particular scene, crying her eyes out a lot for our takes for this particular scene. But I thought after Kareem is blowing his lid once again, um, his little particular things, I think the only directive I gave Ian was like, give some sort of look or some sort of something in Nia's direction. You know what I mean? But yeah, again, took that and ran with it. But it came across really well on camera from what I've been looking at. So yeah.
Because I can't stand her. That's what throw it out there.
It's you can't stand her, but you love her.
Mhm.
That's your cousin, and
that's my cousin.
right. And I think the feeling is probably mutual.
Mhm.
So there's
you doing the most all the time. You doing the
All
most.
right.
So,
We ain't gonna talk about doing the most because again, you did the most when you left. So don't you start with me. I'm trying to be
Sasha,
nice here.
real quick before we hear you hop on, so we can get into some more things with Ian. Tell the people real quick, because I know when we talked to you and asked you like who was one of your favorite people to work with, Ian was your answer. What did you enjoy like working? What did you enjoy about working with him?
Ian, he is very locked in. He's very present when you're acting with him. He's very easy to like have the rest of the scene kind of just melt away and just be as a scene partner. We're we really feel like locked in together. It's like neither one of us is going to drown. We both in it. And that's something that I admire and enjoy with him. Just his presence, his focus, and dedication to the work. So
Right.
yeah. Come on and other stuff.
I'm telling you.
So extra.
Right, all the time. But thank you, Tash, for hopping on. We appreciate you.
Good night, y'all.
We'll
Keep
talk
watching y'all.
soon. Good night.
I'll be in the chat if you keep talking about Nia. Bye, y'all.
Yeah.
I don't know how to jump off. Oh wait, nope, I don't know how.
I said, we gotta put you out. I'm screaming. It's okay. She go. Lee's gonna put you out.
Oh, do I just hit the X?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.
I'm screaming. I'm like, I didn't expect nothing less though. So yeah,
Yes.
I did want to ask you two quick questions before we get into the shenanigans.
I'm sorry, what? The shenanigans?
The shenanigans. The shenanigans brought to y'all. The shenanigans brought to y'all by Ian Thomas by way of his portrayal of Kareem in a song for Nia. I wanted to know how you felt about Kareem. Obviously, you personally, it gelled with your real life, but about the importance of Kareem being Muslim and what that might have added to the character for you thus far.
Okay.
And then also wanted to ask you about I think I was interested too because I know you and Miss Diane have quite a few scenes together.
Mm-hmm.
The scenes with your grandmother, like what stood out or what was of interest to you or where you were when you were thinking about like what you wanted your conversations and what you wanted to sort of come across from the character as he's sort of in these intimate conversations with his grandmother.
Okay. So there's two parts to that. First I'll start with the conversation with my grandma. One of the things that I understood going into each scene is, even though she's my grandma, she's more so my mom, because in Kareem's story, my mom is not very present, right? So I don't just have a grandmother's respect for her, I have a mother's respect for her. So there's certain things that I'm just not gonna do that I would do to literally everybody else that's part of this family, including my dad. Like the relationship I have with my dad, and again, I love my dad, I love the whole family, because I'm real family oriented, just in terms of his overall background. But
Mm-hmm.
he puts his grandmom on just a different pedestal, and that was one of the things that I wanted to get across in literally every scene I had with her. To where as though it's like, all right, I might talk crazy to you. I might talk crazy to you. But I ain't talking crazy to this lady. This lady make me still feel like I'm 5 years old
Mm-hmm.
and I can get a spanking. And it felt like that in literally every scene we did. So it was beautiful to put that together. I was very excited to work with Miss Diane. You know, I know she has a ton of experience in theater, so having that experience and just on film, and knowing that she was going to be able to get into character and be the grandmother that I needed her to be, it was amazing. That was amazing. And in terms of me being Muslim, that played such a great dynamic, because I've been in various situations where not only am I the only Muslim person dealing with the grief, but I'm probably going to be the only one. And even if I believe that that person wanted to become Muslim at some point in time, I'm going to probably be the only one that's making that stance to even, make dua for that person, or uh, to even want to have a Muslim prayer or a janazah for that person. So just all those things combined, I felt like brought Kareem to life.
Yeah, for
Why
sure, for sure.
y'all
It was
laughing at me
it
while I
was
was telling while I was explaining my answer?
It
no, I wasn't
was some
laughing
comments.
at
It
you. It
wasn't
was
at you.
Danielle in the comments.
Yeah,
It
it was
wasn't
You
at
know, I'm
you.
comments.
sick
No,
of
it
Danielle.
wasn't
Y'all
at
got,
you.
yeah, you know what? I'm sick. Hey, Granny, great grandma, sick of you. That's great auntie. Matter of fact, that's great auntie.
Great auntie.
Great
Great
auntie.
auntie,
Auntie is
great grandma.
crazy.
We're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about that eventually too, because you. But no. On a serious note, to follow up on your response, it was important to me. Because like I like to tell people, I feel like I grew up in as many church as majors as I grew up churches
Yeah,
when I was younger, and I think it's important when we are having this particular story being so like steeped in like cultural, like black culture
yeah,
in the city, like you know what I mean, a real portrayal of like a black
yeah.
Philly family
Hmm.
intergenerationally.
Mhm.
You got to have the Muslim influence, in
Yes.
my opinion, because that's just what it is. I've always grown up and known and been related to as many Muslims as Christians, and so and we do see and get the Christian influence in this particular story as well. So I wanted to make sure that was there as well.
I mean,
So
for sure.
um,
I mean, to add to that, one of the things that a lot of people should know, and I feel like it really resonated in this series, is Philly is largely based in the Islamic community. So being able to see the contrast between the Islamic community and the Christian community, just in terms of just funeral and dealing with grief, and the differences between how we deal with grief, is extremely important, because so many people don't know. Like, Philly is its own world. You got Philadelphia, then you got Pennsylvania. There is no, it's like they'll say like, hey, it's Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. No, we are our own entity.
mhm.
And then you got the rest of PA,
Yeah,
and then we're going up against states,
yeah, yeah,
literally.
for sure, for
And,
sure,
and,
Hmm.
for sure.
and you just get to see the cultural dynamic behind that, and it's truly amazing and truly authentic as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Very
That
much
is important.
so.
It's so important for people to remember. People ask me, like, where you from? I'll be like, Philadelphia, Philadelphia. Or I like to tell people I'm from the country of North Philadelphia. I can't tell you too much about Pennsylvania or the United States. I know about Philly.
Right.
But so that just is what it is. But yeah, so before we ramp up and give people your information and stuff, we gotta talk about the shenanigans
Let's
because
talk
the
about it.
shenanigans that
Let's talk about it.
ensued,
All
the
my shenanigans was
shenanigans
justified.
that ensued, and I was hoping we was going to get Ty or Sierra or any of the many women. Oh wait, Kenzo. Now wait a minute,
Kenzo.
Kenzo in the chat. So we got one of the women, we got one of the girlfriends, one of the girls that Kareem brought to the house, brought to his grandma's
To
house,
grandma house.
to
She has
grandma's
to
house
be something.
to
She
see
just don't go to
everybody, to meet
anybody in grandma
everybody.
house.
I think a day or two before he at the other place with another girl at the other cousin's house. What's that about? What's all of the women about? And then he want the baby mom back, in the end. And we want to understand. We feel like, I feel like I understood Kareem being an upstanding
Mhm.
guy, as far as
Mhm.
his family, being solid, being good on community, all of the things.
Mhm.
But like, what's up with the
All
women, my guy? Yes,
right.
I got to go to the film. She ain't even leave with a plate.
Can I can I can I
She was
explain
going crazy.
what's up
Go
with the
ahead.
women? I'm gonna explain
Yes,
what's up with the women. So
yes.
so Kareem,
Hmm.
right? I need y'all to
Hmm.
hear me out on this. Don't
Hmm.
we listen and we don't judge.
We
Y'all
listen,
saw that?
we
Don't
We
listen and
judge
we
listen and
don't
we
judge.
and
Go
don't
we
ahead,
judge.
go
don't
ahead.
judge.
Go ahead. Okay, okay.
So right, he's dealing with a lot. He's grieving,
Hmm.
right? He's
Hmm.
he's trying to stay on the right track. He don't want to resort to the streets, but
Hmm.
you got to think he's mourning,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And he don't want to be super engulfed in drugs and things of that nature. So he has other vices, right? One of those vices just happened to be beautiful, attractive, voluptuous, right? Women, okay? And he wants his family back, but his family has to be peace and
Hmm.
tranquility, not
Hmm.
chaos.
Hmm.
And not to throw that. Listen, Kareem love his baby mama. He love it. Let me say, he love his baby mama. Okay, all right. But let me tell you something, right? He got to deal with a
Hmm.
lot with that baby mama.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes his eyes they might wander a little bit,
A little bit, a little bit,
a little bit,
a little
and
bit.
That's what you call it,
yeah,
wandering. Eyes wandering.
Wandering,
Wandering.
wandering.
but I'm trying to have a good time, and sometimes she don't know how to have a good time, but other women know how to have a good time.
I'm telling you.
This is
I'm telling
crazy.
you.
The
It's
justification is crazy.
I'm just saying, I feel like that's justified, and I do what I'm supposed to do. You know,
Kareem did fall for the baby mom real quick. It's gonna be
Uh-huh.
interesting to see.
He
Y'all gonna
did.
see. Y'all gonna get a chance to see.
right?
It's real interesting. It's real interesting.
I would,
But
I would never.
I hear you. So we want you don't want to go one way and one route.
Uh-huh.
So we want to go the route of he drowned in the sorrows and the women.
Yeah,
Mm.
he just needs some TLC, some tender loving care. That's
Mm.
all.
Okay. Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Okay.
And when one don't provide, another will abide. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and that's enough because I keep telling you, I keep telling you. So we're gonna move on. Hey, yo, not too much tea in the chat. Not too much tea in the chat. But look. But no, it was all good though. It was great working with Ian, shenanigans and all. It was
Mike
great working
would
with
have.
Ian.
Mike said he would have cut up, and he would have. Yeah.
It was great. Yes, I cast the crew is cutting up in the chat for those who can't see or may see this afterwards. But it was great working with Ian, shenanigans and all. And I'm looking forward to how people are going to receive Kareem, how they're going to feel about him, how they take a liking to him or not. I think it's looking and sounding so good already. Even though we're in the midst of post production, so I can't wait until the final edits are done on each episode. It's going to be so good.
I can't wait.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be good. I'm
Yeah,
excited
for
to
sure.
And I really can't wait for them to understand that I'm the man of the house.
I do have a question for you, Ian, real fast. What is something that you would like to see for your character in season 2?
Why would you ask that question? I knew you was going to
How
ask
did
that question.
how did you know I was gonna
I
ask
mean,
that?
because I can feel it.
Besides the family, want your family back.
Okay, you
Besides that,
knew that was the number one
besides
thing.
that,
You knew that was the number one thing.
besides you wanting your family back, because I'm here. I understand you want your family. I'm not mad at you for that. But what else would
Mhm.
you like to see for your role?
I would like to see him take more of a leadership role, um, and make
Thank you
people
so much.
understand that he's serious about leading this family to success, leading this family to heights that we never thought we could see. I feel like the men before us thought that they could do that, and not nothing personal, but they failed at that objective. But they definitely tried and they gave their effort, which is something that Kareem holds dearly. But I just feel like I'm the one. So, and I feel like I'm the one as Kareem in the show, and I feel like I'm the one in real life. So that's one of the things that
Okay,
we have in
baby
common.
Sean. All right,
Right. So,
all right.
and with that, I just feel like that's probably the biggest thing I want to see in season 2. Seeing him take that stance of, listen, this is what we on, and if you feel away, then feel froggy, leap.
All right.
But he's
Okay.
also gonna go through the contrast of like not wanting to go that route either. Of like, oh, maybe I should take everybody's feelings into consideration. Oh,
We get
that's
any
what he.
rumbles? Kim is crazy. I said we might have to, right? Get a stunt coordinator. It definitely be a lot of fighting words and energy in season 1. I don't know. We might have to have a mix of season 2.
That's a fact. That's
Um,
a fact.
no, but yeah, no, I that's interesting and also good to hear
Yeah.
your perspective on it. Yeah, I'm interested in I'm most excited, and we gonna get the writers room going. So it's not just gonna be me. So I'm excited about where the other writers are gonna take my outline for season 2. But I think it'll be good and important to see the kind of sort of evolution that we see Kareem go through. And I think that even in the manner that he's portrayed in season 1, the hope is outside of, maybe some of the aggression, that we did our best to, make it clear that love is the intent, right? Family, community coming together is the intent, and it's important to Black men as well, right? Because
For
I feel
sure.
like most often, we're left with that mantle, that bag, you know what I mean, in our community. And I think that for me, like drawing from certain personal perspectives in my own life, um, that was something that I was able to see as I grew up,
Right.
was that like when we were younger, and I say we because we all around the same age, but those of us who are 90s babies, late 80s babies, like, millennials at this point in time, I think came up in a time and era where people were starting to change, and a lot of the like dynamic in our neighborhoods and communities was starting to change. And I think that that's very apparent in the way that we see um, Black men who are around our age, a little older, a little younger, a lot more prevalent in their children's lives than maybe even some of us grew up with. But yeah, I hope that that comes across. I think in the era of podcasts and all of the wars online, it's important to have something for people to chew on that feels like resolve, that feels like a middle ground, that feels like there are ways for us to get together and be together,
Mm-hmm.
and still be able to love one another. Yeah, so
Well said. Well said. I look forward to it, to seeing this project fully developed. As Frank Lucas said, this thing's blue magic. I stand by it. I stand by this product. You know what I mean?
now a Frank Lucas quote after we talking about love and things in the Black community.
Huh?
Nobody else came to mind.
Nobody else
I'm
cared about it. Frank Lucas cared about it right there and there.
I so I will as a woman that we will end on for this particular section. Since Nikki Giovanni just recently passed, God rest her soul.
Yeah.
Nikki
Oh
Giovanni's
man,
always been one of my favorite writers, poets of all time.
same.
A real giant in our literary space and lexicon in so many ways. Love is a responsibility, right? It's something she was once quoted as saying, and I think that although many of us and a lot of our communities, and it's not everybody because no Black experience is all the same, we're not a monolith, but I think many of our communities are fractured and have been fractured over the years because of our unwillingness to commit to love being a responsibility beyond the trauma, beyond the things that we go through with one another, all of these kinds of things, right? And so I hope that the responsibility that I feel like love is does come across in this particular series.
Eh, eh,
What you got to say, Ian?
as James Baldwin said, if I love you, I can't lie to you. And you know, thinking about just that conversation alone, sometimes love can be painful, and I think that we showed great signs of love being pain as well as love being a bit of resolve, refreshing, love bringing resolution to a lot of trauma, and I can't wait to see it develop on screen. It's going to be amazing.
For
I
sure,
really can't wait.
for sure,
Yeah,
for sure,
absolutely.
without a doubt. So we're gonna get out of here, Ian. Before we get out of here, it's always a pleasure. Tell the people where to find you, what you're working on, where they can connect with you at, all of the things.
You can connect with me at what is it? It's Ian M underscore Thomas, right, on Instagram, or you can follow me, Coach E underscore 9U underscore ICW. It's just you can follow me on both. I just want to throw that out there. But the Ian M underscore Thomas, that's the one that you really should follow. I just want to put that out there. And then also you can follow me on the book. Ian Thomas. Also you can follow me on Twitter. The real Ian Thomas. I just wanted to just put that out there. Also, Iron E Fit on YouTube. Put me out there as well. You can follow me on that as well. Projects I got coming up. I do plan on working with Kima. I have another project that I'm working with Raheem on. And, it's always getting ready for season 2 because I know it's coming. I believe in staying with this product. As I said earlier,
Yes,
I've been behind this machine, and I believe in this machine, and I can't wait.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, for sure. For sure, without a doubt, without question. Shout out to Ed Movies by Kima.
Yeah.
And y'all can check out what Ian's talking about and other things she's working on her page. But we appreciate y'all tuning in with us once again.
Yes. Thank you.
We got one more week. Next week we'll be tuning in with a couple of our other actors, and we hoping to round off things before the holiday season. But thank you, Ian, for your time tonight. Thank you for tuning
It's been a
in.
pleasure. It's been a pleasure. This was insightful. That's why I say, Cash Party.
Yeah, red party is
Get
coming.
coming
Red
soon.
party is loading.
ready.
You know,
Get ready.
Get ready.
Red
get
Oh,
party.
ready.
Get
Okay,
ready. You understand?
get ready in the red party.
Get ready.
All right.
all right.
Spades, dominoes, Monopoly.
Oh,
All of it's going down.
okay.
Okay.
All right. Y'all here.
Dominoes, not Dominoes Monopoly, and then they on the chase my BYOB.
Right.
Yes,
Definitely
it's red
BYOB for
party is
sure.
loading.
Spades.
Red party is loading. You know, I was like, it got a little hectic right before the holiday season,
Yeah.
so I think we're gonna have to hold out till January. But red party is loading. We'll be sending the details out to everybody. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank
Series
you.
Spotlight, episode 4. We'll be doing our next installment next week. Good night.
See you on next
See
week.
y'all.
Bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, y'all.